Good evening and welcome to Biz RoundUp. I'm Nadon Sirivardhana and we at our television bring you a collection of business highlights. Let's have a look at the headlines. Justice served late is no justice at all, President asserts. Tourism posts nearly $3 billion in revenue during the first 11 months. $50 million policy-based loan from the OPEC fund, Cabinet approves. News in detail. President Anura Kumara Dissanayake said that mere legal amendments and restructuring of the public sector is not sufficient to combat rampant corruption in the country. He said that in order to ensure improvement in the field of anti-corruption, the whole system has to be reinstated. The President said this speaking at the International Anti-Corruption Day National Celebration held at the BMICH recently.
සමහර නඩුවල සාක්ෂිකරුවන් කැඳවන්නේ නැතුව නඩු ඉවත් වෙන්න අරින්නේ කුමක් නිසාද? අපි ජනතාවට බැඳී තිබෙනවා නම් අපි පැහැදිලි කළ යුතුයි. අපි ඉල්ලාස් කරගන්න නඩු ජනතාවට පැහැදිලි කළ යුතුයි ඒ ඉල්ලාස් කරගන්න කියලා. ලිපිගොනු අවුරුදු 7-8 ලාජ්වාසි හිර වෙනවා නම් අපි ජනතාවට පැහැදිලි කළ යුතු නැද්ද? ඇයි හිර වෙන්නේ කියලා? මොකද ප්‍රශ්නේ නම් තියෙන්නේ. එනිසා මම කියන්නේ අපේ මේ මුළු දේහයම පද්ධතියක් ලෙස කඩා වැටලා තිබෙන්නේ. යලි අපේ රට ගොඩනගනවා නම් මේ සමස්ත පද්ධතියම ප්‍රතිස්ථාපනයට ලක් කළ යුතුයි. එම නැතුව කුඩා නීතිමය ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණකින් කුඩා ආයතනයක ප්‍රතිවගත කර ගැනීමකින් පමණක් මේ කාර්ය සම්පූර්ණ කරගන්න බෑ. ඒකට පුළුවන් මගේ අවුරුදු 5 ගත කරන්න පුළුවන්. නීති ටිකක් හදලා දීලා ආයතන ප්‍රතිවගත කරලා දීලා මට අවුරුදු 5 බැලලා යන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි වෙනස් කරන්න නම් මේ සමස්තේ යලි ප්‍රතිස්ථාපනය කිරීමකින් තොරව මේ ජයග්‍රහණත් පත් කරගන්න බෑ. පෞද්ගලිකව මා ප්‍රයත්න දරනවා මේ සමස්ත පද්ධතියම යලි ප්‍රතිස්ථාපනය කරලා මේ රාජ්‍ය සුවපත් රාජ්‍ය බවට පරිවර්තනය කරන්න. ඒක තමයි මගේ අපේක්ෂාව.
Speaking further during the event, President Anura Kumara Dissanayake said that the rule of law in the country is different for different classes of society, with lower socio-economic class people having to endure many obstacles by the legal system. The President also highlighted the fact that the justice served late is not justice served at all, since it has countless effects on people.
මේ නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක වී තිබෙන මකුළු දෙලක් වගේ. පොඩි සත්තු පැටලෙනවා. ලොකු සත්තු මකුළු දෙල බිඳගෙන යනවා. මේ ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙලා. ඉතින් එහෙම නීතියක් තිබෙන බව, එහෙම ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන බව මේ රටේ පුරවැසියන් දන්නවා. මම දන්නවා මට වඩා නීතිය පිළිබඳ ඉතාමත් හසල අත්දැකීම් සහිත ඒ ශාස්ත්‍රයෙන් වැඩ කරපු ඒ ශාස්ත්‍රයේම අත්දැකීම් සහිත අය ඉන්නවා. හැබැයි අපි කවුරුත් දන්නවා නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා වගේම නීතිය සාධාරණ විට වෙනවා කියන බව ජනතාවගේ විශ්වාසයක් ගොඩනැගී යුතුයි. මම කියන්නේ අද ජනතාව තුළ එහෙම විශ්වාසයක් නැහැ. ඒ වගේම යුක්තිය ඉටු කිරීම සඳහා ප්‍රමාද වීම එක පැත්තකින් යුක්තිය ඉටු කිරීමක් නොවන්නේය. යුක්තිය ඉතා ඉක්මනින් ඉටු කිරීම තමයි යුක්තියට කළ යුතු සාධාරණත්වය. යුක්තිය ඉටු කිරීම ප්‍රමාද වීමක් යුක්තිය ඉටු කිරීමක් නොවන්නේ කියලා අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා. එනිසා මම විශ්වාස කරනවා අපිම ප්‍රශ්න කරගත යුතු අවස්ථාවක ඉවිල්ලා තිබෙනවා. අපිම අවංකව මේ කාර්යයට මොනතරම් ප්‍රමාණකින් අපි උර දෙන්න සූදානම්ද නැද්ද කියන ප්‍රශ්නට අපි ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ස්වභාවික ඉරණමක ප්‍රතිඵලයක් නෙවෙයි මේ ආයතන පද්ධතිය මෙතන බිඳ වැටෙන්නේ. මේ සියලු ආයතන පද්ධතිය මෙතන බිඳ වැටෙන ප්‍රධානම හේතුව අපේ රටේ අප්‍රසන්න දේශපාලන සංස්කෘතිය.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, who is also the Education Minister, said that the government has identified education as the transformative pillar for the development of Sri Lanka. The Prime Minister said that investment in education should focus on making it possible for students to access higher education with dignity, irrespective of their socio-economic background. The Prime Minister made these remarks during the ceremony of school uniform donation by the Republic of China in Colombo recently.
It is a great honor for me to be present here today to accept on behalf of the government this gesture of incredible generosity from the Republic of China. As you know, education high priority for our country, and I know that China also values education greatly and sees education as one of the primary modes through which we can reach development. Similarly, for Sri Lanka, as we embark on a new chapter in our history, for us as a government, investing in education is incredibly important. Investing in education means making it possible for all children, irrespective of any socio-economic difference or position, to be able to access education with dignity. In that regard, there are many schemes that we have offered our school children to enable that access and to make sure that all children have access to a high quality education. We see education as one of our transformative pillars. Investing in education, making sure that our education is aligned with the needs of our country, aligned with the development with our own development priorities, and that we are able to transform our education system to meet the needs of global challenges, of needs, of our development needs. These are all incredibly important aspects for us.
Cabinet of Ministers gathered earlier this week has approved signing an agreement for a $50 million policy-based loan from the OPEC Fund for International Cooperation. The Government Information Department in a statement said that the loan is linked to financing coming in parallel with the extended fund facility of the International Monetary Fund.
Sri Lanka has so far got policy-based loans linked to the IMF program from the World Bank and Asian Development Bank. Japan, which used to co-finance IMF programs after previous currency crisis, could not give new loans until the bilateral debt restructuring was complete. Meanwhile, a World Bank report titled The Sri Lanka Update, published recently, stated that Sri Lanka's economy has stabilized owing to 4 consecutive quarters of growth driven by the industrial and tourism sectors and supported by critical structural and policy reforms. The report further held that growth was expected to reach 4.4% in 2024, surpassing earlier forecasts. The country defaulted on its foreign debt for the first time ever in May 2022, engulfed in a severe crisis and struggling under its high debt burden and near empty foreign exchange reserves. The announcement came after the Sri Lankan administration saw a complete overhaul with a new president and a new cabinet taking office, bringing a new uncertainty to the country's progress. Sri Lanka had successfully executed debt restructuring agreements with the Official Credit Committee in June this year, followed by the announcement that Sri Lanka had reached agreements in principle on the restructuring of approximately $14.2 billion of sovereign debt with international sovereign bond holders and also finalized an agreement with China Development Bank. The two groups collectively hold in excess of 50% of the bonds, according to the Treasury. This was a significant step in Sri Lanka's debt restructuring process in line with the IMF program.
Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. Sri Lanka's tourism industry has demonstrated remarkable performance, raking in over $2.8 billion in revenue during the first 11 months of 2024. Official sources from the Tourism Ministry said that it has recorded a staggering 56% surge compared to the same period last year.
The performance not only underscores a robust recovery, but also signals the industry's potential as a key driver of the country's economic revival. The central bank on Friday announced tourism earnings in November amounted to $272.9 million, reflecting a 33% year-on-year increase. On a month-on-month basis also, November earnings rose by an impressive 47% from $185.6 million registered in October 2024, reflecting a significant acceleration in revenue generation as the year rose to a close. The tourist arrivals for the month totaled as 184,158, and it showed as a significant increase of 22%, whilst recording the highest number of visitors since July 2024. February marked the year's highest monthly earnings at $375.7 million, driven by 218,350 arrivals. Analysts opine these figures underscore the sector's capacity to deliver significant economic returns when properly supported.
Officials from the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority voiced that this momentum has boosted confidence in the sector's ability to achieve its revised year-end target of 2 million visitors. They also added that it would also make revenue of $3 billion.
With over 1.8 million arrivals year-to-date and $2.8 billion already secured, the industry is optimistic about bridging the gap in December, despite the ambitious goal of attracting over 345,000 visitors in a single month. The sector's recovery follows years of challenges, including Easter Sunday attacks in 2019, the COVID-19 pandemic, and an economic crisis. Despite these multiple challenges, year after year since 2019, the tourism industry emerged stronger, driven by organic growth and ongoing efforts to enhance visitor safety and satisfaction. The revival of the industry is particularly significant given the absence of a comprehensive global campaign for the past 16 years. Looking beyond 2024, Sri Lanka's tourism sector has set ambitious goals for the next 5 years, aiming to draw 5 million visitors and generate 8.5 to 10 billion US dollars in revenue by 2030. Achieving these targets will require a strategic overhaul of the country's marketing approach, which is already underway. In January 2025, the sector is slated to unveil a unified national brand, shifting away from fragmented promotional efforts seen in the previous administration. This strategy aims to position Sri Lanka as a 365-day destination, delivering higher returns on investment and fostering growth. Industry leaders are also urging the new administration to expedite the implementation of the global promotional campaign, which they believe is critical for sustaining momentum and boosting international awareness of Sri Lanka as a premier tourist destination.
The Sri Lankan government has made two key decisions aimed at easing financial burdens and modernizing public services. This announcement was made at the weekly cabinet media briefing held at the Government Information Department recently. First, Sri Lanka is extending the suspension of parata execution, commonly known as foreclosure of mortgage assets for bad loans, until March 31, 2025. Addressing the media, Cabinet spokesman and Media Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa emphasized that the extension is aimed at helping small and medium enterprises still grappling with the aftermath of the economic crisis. The government is working on a final and comprehensive solution to this issue, expected within the next 3 months. Meanwhile, Deputy Minister of Finance Harshana Suryaperuma, speaking in Parliament, revealed that discussions with the central bank have begun to develop a new relief scheme targeting SMEs. Sri Lanka has seen a series of debt moratoria since the Easter Sunday attacks, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the economic challenges brought on by recent currency fluctuations and tax hikes. In another major development, the Cabinet has approved a proposal to introduce digital driving licenses, marking a significant step towards modernization. Minister Jayatissa stated that the new licenses will feature advanced technology to facilitate data exchange between institutions. While the current system will continue for a short transition period, the government is committed to implementing the digital system soon. The idea of a digital license was initially proposed in 2022, but no action had been taken until now. Minister Jayatissa assured that this system will align Sri Lanka with global standards. Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. The United Arab Emirates has pledged its unwavering support for Sri Lanka's efforts to build a prosperous and developed nation. During a meeting at the Presidential Secretariat, the UAE ambassador to Sri Lanka, Khaled Nasser Al-Ameri, assured President Anurukumara Dissanayaka of the UAE's commitment to support Sri Lanka. The ambassador outlined plans to increase investments in Sri Lanka, particularly in areas like digitization and modern technology, and to share technical expertise to drive innovation and modernization across key sectors. Highlighting the significant role of the 150,000 Sri Lankans currently employed in the UAE, both parties explored ways to expand employment opportunities, further strengthening the economic ties between the two nations. The UAE, already Sri Lanka's sixth largest export market, was identified as a key area for growth. Talks focused on diversifying and expanding Sri Lankan exports to the UAE with a shared interest in boosting trade and economic collaboration. A gesture of goodwill, Ambassador Al-Ameri extended an official invitation for President Dissanayaka to visit the UAE, reinforcing the strong partnership between the two countries. The government of Japan has made several stocks of emergency relief goods to be provided for the victims affected by the recent floods and landslides caused by the heavy rainfall in many parts of the country.
Ambassador of Japan Akio Isumata officially handed over emergency relief goods to Secretary to Ministry of Defense Air Vice Marshal Sampath Tuyakonta. The handover ceremony, which was held at Bandaranaike International Airport, was also attended by Director General of Disaster Management Centre of Sri Lanka, Major General Uday Herath, and Chief Representative of Japan International Cooperation Agency Sri Lanka Office, Tetsuya Yamada. The items donated include 230 tents, 1,300 sleeping pads and 30 rolls of tarpaulin sheets. In his remarks, Ambassador Isumata conveyed his deepest condolences and sympathy to those affected and stressed Japan's unwavering commitment to standing by Sri Lanka and its people when it is most needed. In addition to this latest round of emergency assistance, Japan has distributed urgent life-saving kits to affected women in the northern and eastern provinces through a UNFPA project funded by the Japanese government. JICA also joined hands during this ongoing disaster situation by distributing hygiene goods and essential medicines to the Mannar district in the northern province. Japan continues to watch the situation closely and communicate with the Sri Lankan government to ensure effective assistance to the needy population, along with our long-term commitment to helping Sri Lanka improve its disaster response and risk reduction capabilities.
Now, the Export Development Board has made a bridge between the women-led businesses, mainly from Jaffna, and the buyers from the United Kingdom. This initiative highlighted the export potential of women-led businesses in Sri Lanka, particularly in the northern region.
The United Kingdom Sri Lanka Trade Mission, co-organized by the International Trade Centre and the Sri Lanka Export Development Board, successfully concluded its Jaffna program on 4th December 2024. The program, part of the UK government-funded She Trades Commonwealth Plus program, provided a platform for women entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka to connect with UK buyers and explore new trade opportunities. It aimed to empower women-led businesses to diversify their export markets, enhance their competitiveness, and drive sustainable economic growth in the country. The event was conducted by Trade for Development at the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office of the UK and the Export Development Board. Both the organizations emphasized the importance of empowering women entrepreneurs and enabling their access to international markets to drive inclusive economic growth in Sri Lanka. During the market information session, participants gained valuable insights into the UK market, including sectoral opportunities, export volumes, and how to leverage the developing country's trading scheme. This session provided women-led businesses with the tools and knowledge to expand their reach in the UK market. The mission also included factory visits to Jaffna-based women-led businesses, where UK buyers were able to explore the capabilities and innovations of local entrepreneurs in sectors like agri-food and apparel. These visits underscored the potential of women entrepreneurs in Jaffna to provide high-quality, sustainable products to international markets. In addition, business-to-business meetings were organized, giving women-led businesses the chance to engage directly with UK buyers. These meetings created a platform for establishing valuable business connections, discussing potential partnerships, and showcasing the products of Sri Lankan women entrepreneurs.
With that, we wind up for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. See you tomorrow with State of Business at 7:45 p.m. Take care and good night.